What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know I'm about to get it in, right? But before I get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm humbled by it. Thank you, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, the Rick is in the hole. The hole. No, he's not in Wes Watson's asshole, but he's definitely in a hole, right? And let me tell you guys what happened. This is a super Norteno update, man. For those that are waiting patient, I've been patiently waiting for a track to explode on. For who's been waiting for Rick, right? He got into a little bit of a situation. Now, that doesn't affect his time, so don't get nervous, right? The people that are like, damn, super Norteno, if it ain't one thing, it's two others, right? Nah, not in this case, but I'll tell you what happened. So the other day, I talked to my tia, right? I wanted to update because I want to get his shit together. You know, I got him some white tees, I got him some shoes, a few little things. I want to look out for him. A lot of the supporters have been helping me behind the scenes, man, with a few things to get a little package sent to him. So that way, when he does get out, man, he has something to throw on, right? Because I don't know if that raggedy ass red shirt that he wears all the time is going to help. I don't care. I still like it. And I like it. It sends shoes on my spine every time. Why do you talk like Mickey Mouse, Baboso, right? Talk for reals. You guys are definitely going to get the interview. You're definitely going to get to hear how he talks. He doesn't talk like that, right? He's going to be all slow and shit like, hey, what's up, homie? Right? But at the end of the day, that's my spin on it, and that's the way I say it. But I called my tia, and I got called a whole bunch of fuck faces right from the gate. Why don't you ever fucking call me? It was Merry Christmas time, and you don't even call me. I said, yeah, I don't really do Merry Christmas time. Well, I do it, and there was no one here but two paisas and the Grinch. And I tried to throw the paisa the Grinch con un pinche chorra that long, furry, todo. And I don't know what happened with you and the Grinch, but I know one thing is for sure. What's up with Rick? So she's like, I don't know. He's coming home. What are we talking about here? What the fuck are you going to do? Fuck face. I said, no, because I'm trying to send him a package and get some shit together. She goes, he's in the hole right now. What? Whopping, right? Whopping to Rick. Why is he in the hole? Put Sheila on, right? So she moogeted her way to the phone. And I was like, what happened? And I ain't even gonna lie. Sheila's like, she has that sexy call girl voice. You know, like she sounds good until you see her, and then you're like, oh, hell no. Nah. You know, the type that fucking talking about she's Janet Jackson, but got off the car looking like Freddie Jackson. She got off looking like Joe Jackson, upset with Michael, right? So, anyways, she gets on the phone. I'm like, what happened? What happened to Rick? She starts crying. I don't know. He's locked up. I see, yeah, he's been locked up. Like, that ain't shit. That ain't shit to a giant. Like, he's in the hole. She's like, yeah, he went to the hole. I said, well, how'd you guys find out? Well, one of the homies called and he told us. And I was like, okay, makes sense. So I said, what did he go to the hole for? He got into it with the cop. Now, it happens all the time. What happens is, man, with Rick, he's a little bit of a diabolical individual, yet at the same time, he's temperamental. And he's also one of the vatos that needs a hug from time to time. So if there's no one giving him attention, if there's no one giving him like, hey, homie, it's all good, then he gets all nervous and shit. And he thinks everyone's plotting out to get him. He's paranoid. I'm paranoid. I mean, it makes me sleep better at night. The world is yours. So what had happened was, I guess it was chow time. And the way the cops do it is they have a cart that comes down. They have a tier tender come out, and then he passes out the trays, just so they're not in really close proximity to the inmates. That's just how it is there at that jail, right? And I guess that, you know, this day the cops decided that there was going to be no tier tender. I guess there was an incident where the tier tender had took flight on someone, and so they were going to start passing out chow. And Rick usually, he's in, I guess, one of the front cells. And so usually you start from the front to the back. But this rookie cop decided to start from the back to the front just to switch up the program for whatever reason, right? You can't switch Rick's program up. Super Norteño's not built that way. He's built with consistency. He's built with the program. He's built with the Norte. You know what I mean? What they're not going to feed us? Right? And I'm sure the homies are like, nah, brother, they're just feeding down. No, fuck that. I'm going to fucking throw my food on them. I don't care. If we're not going to eat, we're not going to eat. Right? So he tried, I guess when the cops finally hit their cell, which was after they fed everyone, and I guess according to what the homie told, that this cop was slow dragging. He was slow dragging, so he was like talking to everyone, checking in their cells, whatever. That's how those rookies are, man. They're on shit. They're trying to catch something so they can fucking get their levels up, right? And it was taking forever, and Ricky was pacing back and forth. He was upset. So now one thing that he could be in trouble for, and this is the truth, you're not supposed to disrespect the cops at all. as a Norteño, a functioning, active Norteño, you cannot disrespect the cops, right? Because what that does, you can't fraternize with the K9 nor disrespect them, because then that brings heat on the homies. That's how it used to always be, man. There'd be some cops that were disrespectful. And the way the game is played, especially in prison, not necessarily county jail, but prison more so. If you really got a situation with a cop, you blast them, right? That's it. You don't throw shit on them. You don't do that weird stuff, right? That's JCAT stuff. You get off where you're mad at. Period. If you ain't got no action at them, then shut your fucking mouth till you do. You know, it took Redwood 6 months to get that screw, but they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn, right? And he got him. Ricky didn't get him. Ricky threw a fucking piece of meatloaf at him. And that was that. So what happened was when the cop finally got in front of his cell, the homies are telling him, just let it go, bro. It ain't that serious. You're gonna get fed. And like I said, he's very volatile. So Ricky's like, you can't control him. When he gets something stuck in his head, it's what it is. It's stuck in his head. So I guess the cop comes and Ricky's standing at the thing and he's like, and I can imagine him doing it. Whooping with my food, right? And the guy's like, the fuck you mean? What planet are you from? Whopping is I'm going to go in there and whip your ass and search your cell right now. Shut up, right? So as they're handing out trays, they got to give you a certain amount of trays for every person in there. They got to give you at least one. And they're these big plastic trays, you know, the thick ones where there's fucking slots that are only this deep. You barely get any spinach and you get a whole lot of butter, right? So as they're passing out food, they go to get Ricky's standing in the back of the line. They go to give him his and he pushes it back to the cop. And the cop's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't want it. I refuse it. Well, motherfucker, I don't want your food. This is a Southsider police serve that's sticked up. I don't want it. I don't want nothing, right? So the cop's like, look, you have to take the tray whether you eat it or not. That's just the way it is because we have an exact count. You got to take it. And we're not going to do all that bullshit right now. I guess this cop was pretty rough, right? And he was talking bad. And so one of the homies, I guess that's an OG that's been around, stood up and told the cop, hey, you don't disrespect us like that, because the cop started getting a little disrespectful. Even though Ricky started it, the homies are going to back the homies play no matter what, and we'll talk about it later. We'll stab you later. You know, that was the model. We'll let you get away with it now. Later on, you're going to have a pico in you. You know, luckily you're not Wes Watson because he likes picos in him. So anyways, Ricky is arguing back and forth with this cop, and it's kind of a situation. I can understand the Northerners that were in that building or that were in that cell, like, the homie can't be doing this, but then the cop is disrespectful. Like, what do we do? What the fuck do we do? Right, what happened? And so what happens is it was meatloaf that night. So he got his little piece of meatloaf, probably about that big. Nice little meatloaf, little sauce on it. That shit used to hit, though. I ain't even going to lie, man. Do I want to go back to prison and eat meatloaf? Nah, I'm good. You know, I'm pretty good on that, right? So anyways, as he gives him his food, the cop kind of like brushes his arm, I guess, against the salad that they were serving or whatever the vegetable was. And Ricky lost it. He lost it and he fucking tipped the tray up. And the meatloaf hit the cop. And the cop hit the panic button, said that he assaulted him. That was an assault, right? Now, assault can be categorized. Is that how you say it? Categorized. In many different reasons, right? Or different ways. If you spit on a cop, if you swing on him, stab him, scratch him, you know, pull his hair, whatever. Yeah, that's a simple assault. You got him, right? But if you hit him with a piece of meatloaf on his flak jacket, I don't think that's, you know, flak. I don't think that's bad. But it, you know, according to him, it was. He was a rookie, so he pulled the pin. Cops came running. They rushed. They snatched Ricky up. The homeboys are not going out like that, so the homeboys went out swinging. And so everyone goes on lockdown. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know, this is a very fucked up situation because now Rick goes to the hole. They don't charge him. Like, he's not going to get a new case. He's going to get out. He's, you know, I don't know if they're going to give him a few more days. I don't know. I doubt it, right? I think he's just in the hole. And so the hole there is they took him from the county and they placed him in it's a different county jail area. And he'll do his time in the hole probably until he gets out, because now he has an assault on a staff member. You know, so I was pretty worried about it because I asked my tia, hey, you know, they might beat his ass. You know, back in my days, you assaulted a staff, any type of conflict, man, they're going to take you for an elevator ride. Like, every cop that you run into is going to have something to say because that's their partner, right? Just like with the Norteños holding it down and the Southsiders, everyone for their people, they're going to hold it down for their people. You don't disrespect the cop. You'll learn a hard lesson in prison. I seen one guy. I'll tell you the story in a minute. But anyway, so Ricky's in the hole right now. You know, he spent fucking New Year's Eve in the hole. You know, I wonder if he knows it's 2025 right now. Probably not. He's probably in his calzone, his fucking pacing, talking about whooping, doing his fucking dips, whooping, right? But he'll be all right. He'll still be getting out, man, late January. I'm not putting an approximate date out there just because, you know, I don't want people to pull up where he's at and do whatever they do. Anyways, so trip out. Let me tell you guys a little story. Oh, and my tia, so I ended up getting off the phone with Sheila. She's crying, like, go eat a burger or something, right? Put Theon back on. So my tia's like, what the fuck do you want? I'm too busy. I'm over here watching fucking Goonies. Hey, you guys, love Mama Fertelli. That reminds me of me. That look like me, mijo. Does it? Does it? It kind of does, Tia. It really does, right? I don't fucking, she's ugly, right? So anyways, we're arguing over the Goonies. And she tells me, yeah, he'll be all right. And I can send the package or whatever. So I'm like, cool. Anyways, that's it. After a couple more fuck faces, I love you and fuck you and your mom can get it too. I hang up. So that's the update with Rick, man. He's in the hole right now, but you know, the cop's not going to press charges. It's not that serious. First I thought it was serious. I actually called the county jail to see and inquire if I can get some information, but they wouldn't give me shit. So it is what it is. You know, it was hard as fuck to get a hold of him too. A sheriff, just to hear him say fuck you, right? Pretty much. So anyways, like, let me tell you a story. 2 situations where I seen an assault on a police officer go bad, very bad. That's why I chose to never do it. In fact, I suited them up one time and they beat the whole. I still feel it. You touch it, homie. You want to touch it? Touch it. Every time I touch my back, they ripped a muscle in my back, like they tore me up. And I already had a muscle ripped on the other side from a south sider with a fucking chair in Nellis, right? So my body's all towed back, right? But one thing I can tell you for sure is my asshole's not blown out like Wes Watson's. That's 100%. So anyways, I'm kicking it, and I'm on this tier, and this white dude, this Wood, right? He's a Wood. Brother, where's my fucking tray at, brother? Right? And so what happens is he's arguing with this cop. We're in Tracy Prison, DVI. And he's my neighbor, and the neighbor on the other side actually got killed by a cellie like a month before that. I've told that story. I don't know if you guys remember, the people who've been watching me. But so there was a killing that happened. So that cell was empty, right? So the next cell was, well, why they had me with all the fucking woods, right? They had the woods surrounding us, but they had this wood, and he was cool. We used to chop it up, and we used to share books back and forth. But he was a beast, right? Or to this day. And this cop, he was a little short cop, bald-headed. He was the sergeant, so he ran that tier. And he was pretty cool with the Northerners. Like, he passed shit for us. He was cool. He didn't trip off us. And everyone knew him. And me being in Tracy so many times, I knew him. I forget his name right off the top, but like we knew each other by how we looked. Not like Wes Watson, like how they knew him by his asshole and how blown out it was. Like, we knew each other by face recognition. So he'd be like, what's up? He treat me with respect. You treat a man with respect, right? I mean, you don't tell him too much because he's a cop. What's up? And this white dude doesn't know him. And he's not a first termer, but it's his first time in Tracy. So he's like, when do we fucking get chow around here, brother? Right? You know, I want coffee and meth. He's going crazy. And this cop's like, hey, you need to shut the fuck up. And that's the way they say it. The cop's not going to be respectful. The cop's not going to be like, hey, can you please quiet it down? People are trying to work out on the tier. The cop's going to be like, hey, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to go in there and kick your fucking asshole. You know, I'm going to make it as wide as Wes's, right? I'm going to fucking, hey, you ain't going to have no camaraderie like Cali Muscle. He's going to go in there and do your thing, right? And that dude's like, you fucking disrespect me. And he starts calling the cop out of his name. And me and the homie were in the cell, the homie Shadow from Sakra at the time, before I had him roll it up out of there, right? And I'm kicking it. I'm like, damn, man. And I'm trying to get out of my cell. And I was about to ask the cop, hey, man, is there any way that you can get this mugre up out my cell, like on some fucking just download shit? Because, man, when he shits, it stinks bad, right? So I'm over there trying to coordinate that, think about that in my mind. And this Wood is going crazy. So everyone's listening. You can see everyone on their windows, sign languaging and shit. You can see the white dude, the main white dude. He's on the bottom tier, right? He has a big old whip. I remember he was a skinny old dude. He was one of the tier 10. He was cool as fuck, right? And he talked like Willie Nelson. On the road again, right? I'm on the tier again. Got me a shank in my ass and I'm on the tier again. Trying to get an ounce of meth while I'm on the tier again. The Northerners asking me to pass a super on the tier again, right? He was Willie, and that was Willie Nelson for real. He had long braid, big old whip. Anyways, he's looking at the fucking white dude shaking his head like, "Don't do it, brother. Brother, I'm telling you, brother, they're gonna fucking go metallic on you. You're gonna ride the lightning, brother, right?" And the Wood's over there, I don't give a fuck. And the cop tells him, "Look, I'm gonna take my belt off. I'm gonna bring you on the chair, and I'm gonna whip your ass in front of everybody." And this is a big Wood right here, right? And I'm thinking, no, you're not. This Wood's gonna throw you over the chair. Man, if that cop didn't drop that belt and crack that fucking door, that big wood came out like Beast from the movie Shot Caller and got whooped on. Das, 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 das. Hit it with the Westfall. Never connecting, but it just looks good. It's like this. See how it looks? It looks real, but I ain't hitting shit, right? Anyways, you know, it wasn't staged, was it? Right? So now this was definitely not staged. This cop beat the shit out of him and threw him. And every day they would bring him out for medical movement after that, and he'd come back lumped up. All that high power shit, eventually, man, the Woods got at him, and he was not on the roster no more. And I don't know if they whacked him or something. I left, you know, a little while later, but wow. Another situation was I was in the county jail, right, out of state, and some white guy. It's always the Woods, brother, right? Some white guy had come in, and I guess he had took flight on some cops, and they massacred this guy every day. It was bad. It was bad. I felt bad for him, man. You know, I felt bad. They had him every time they brought him out. They had a spit mask on him. It was horrible for him. So there's situations where you do not mess with the canine. Ultimately, you can't win because that goes in your C file, and everywhere you go, they're going to be at you. You know, they're going to take you to the hole, and you're going to take a little trip to the other side of the land where things ain't made for the average man. And you don't want that in your life. I guarantee it. So back to my primo Rick. He's in the oil right now for an assault on a cop, and hopefully his one ear is not as ripped up as the other one was after the Bulldogs bit him, right? Because I'm telling you right now, he's the type that he'll just keep running it. You know, my cousin's a J-Cat, man. You'll see when I interview him. And one thing about him is he doesn't know when to stop. He's on go at all times. He's up. He's turned, right? Norte, norte, norte. Right? Like, okay, cool. All right. You're Norteno. I already know you've been that for like 30 years now. Stop it, bro. When are you going to like take care of your kids? That's when they grow up, they're going to be like me. Right? I hope not. You know what I mean? I hope not. Don't no one want to stand on a corner in 110-degree weather wearing a penguin outfit, spinning a fucking sign for $10 an hour, right? I was going to go to school. Anyways, that's how it is. But I'm going to get that package sent out to him. He'll be going home this month. Hopefully, man, everything's okay. And I'll pray on it. You know, he ain't going to be able to use the phone or anything to get at my tia. So it's kind of just my tia. And she would act like you would think she would be concerned, right? I said, what do you think, hey, tia? Because I know I've been locked up. She's been locked up too, but she just don't care. She's like, that's not my fucking responsibility to take care of you guys. You guys are grown men. And all I care about is this guy right here and his weenie. And that's it. He has a big, what? Right? That's all she cares about. I didn't say wiener schnitzel. You know what I said, son of a bitch. And your mom, she likes it too. I remember we used to go to the bar back in the days. And she used to talk about, I'm from 18th Street. I'm from 18th Street. Well, guess what, bitch? I'm from 14th Street. What's happening, right? My tia's different. She's gang banged out the game too. Anyways, she wasn't too concerned. She like Quiles was. But, you know, the only way to calm her down, like when she's crying. Have you ever seen a woman cry and then you pull up to Burger King and she stops immediately? You know, Ricky be all mad trying to choke her out. And we'll pull up to Burger King. I'll have a number 4. The Bacon King with go heavy on the sauce. I'm like, what the fuck? What just happened? Her whole identity changed, right? She went from where we going? Hey, we're at Jack in the Box. I'll take 18 tacos for 18th Street, right? Like, what the fuck happened here? Anyways, I talked to her. She's fine. Everything's cool. I even talked to the kids, man. What about Ricky? Does have a kid. He's half black, right? I don't know how that happened. Oh, Paro! He got the tapes, right? Anyways, but it's his son, Lil Rick. And excuse me, my bad. It wasn't him that I talked. I did talk to him, but I talked to the other kid first, right? Who is like 11 years old and can barely talk. God bless them, right? And then so I talked to the other one, and he tells me, when my daddy come home. I said, oh, Baru, I don't know, youngster, right? And damn, bro, put some shellac on that shit, right? This kid got a thicker mustache than mine. But anyways, we FaceTimed. It was all good. And I'm going to have to show you guys a picture of him. I'll get a picture next time. We FaceTimed. I clip it. You'll see, man. A little black with a big-ass whip. It's crazy. Whooping. Anyways, with that being said, that's the update, man, on Rick, Super Norteno, man. Hey, patiently wait because he'll be back. And we'll ask him. We'll ask him what happened in the hole. And you know, if he runs into any of the San Jose Sharks in there and they bite him. You know, my primo's like that. But one thing I'm concerned with is he going to still be in good standings, right? Because this is a real. I'm not fucking arguing and laughing and crying and doing all that shit. I'm not emotional, but I know the game, right? And he put the homies in a situation, man, he's gonna have to answer for. So this might be his last merry-go-round. Hopefully, man, he doesn't get whacked. I'm just being honest. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of everybody, man. Pray for Ricky. He fucking needs it right now. Serious.